Hello, you've reached Hack Games. My name is Jeremy, and this is Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Wrath of the Righteous is an isometric computer role-playing game developed by Owlcat Games and published by Meta Publishing. It's based on a tabletop rule set which was created by Paizo. Wrath of the Righteous is the second in a series of Pathfinder games that Owlcat has developed, with the first being Kingmaker. While this game is not a direct sequel of Kingmaker, it is set in the same world, so we will see references to characters, events, and the area that was used for Kingmaker. We're going to go quickly through character creation. I've already created my character. As you can see, the basic breakdown of what I've selected is on screen at this time. I am going to be playing a Tiefling. One of the things that I have not seen and was looking forward to seeing actually is people playing some of the race-specific classes. In this case, I've chosen to play the Reformed Fiend, which requires you to be a Tiefling, and we are eventually going to be choosing the Angel Mythic Path because that makes sense for a Reformed Fiend. So we've also chosen to be Lawful Good. Let's pop back to the beginning here, and we'll just kind of talk about these things while I leave this on the screen. The first two options that you get when creating a new game is the story you'd like to play. Right now there is only the main story that is available. However, Kingmaker did have an extra background story and also a roguelike dungeon crawl, so I would assume that Owlcat will be releasing those types of things in the future for Wrath of the Righteous. The second option is the difficulty. We're going to be playing on real-time with pause. There's a little bit of a trade-off in entertainment value. We do want to be able to keep making progress, although we want it to be difficult enough that we will fail once in a while, because that can be entertaining also. I've chosen the core difficulty as I believe that's going to be the most entertaining to watch in a real-time with pause situation. If I was playing on turn-based, I believe I would choose hard. Generally speaking, turn-based is going to be a little bit easier than real-time with pause, and that's based around how the rounds are processed mechanically. We have selected a custom portrait and a custom character. There are pre-generated characters, although I would suggest if you are playing to make your own character, as it's just going to be more fun. You'll have more investment in the character. As we discussed, we'll be using the Blood Rager Reformed Fiend class, and the Reformed Fiend does require the specific race Tiefling. We've chosen the heritage of Motherless. One of the reasons that we've chosen Motherless is because it has good bonuses to what we want to do. We get a bonus to Strength, and a negative to Intelligence, which we don't really care about. We get a bonus to Mobility and more. Those we also don't care about. In this case, though, we do get a secondary bite attack, and that's kind of interesting to me. So what we're going to do is, with the splits for levels that we do, we're going to invest in classes that can also give us extra bite. So with the thematic element of our character being a biter, we are going to be looking at weapons that can be used in melee range, because in order to bite someone, you have to be in melee range. Because we're going to always be in melee range, we are going to want to eventually fight defensively. So our background helps us do that in giving us improved unarmed strike right off the bat. Now all we have to do is select dodge in order to get Crane Wing, which reduces the penalties for fighting defensively. We are going to be picking mostly strength throughout the course of the game. One of the things to talk about is throughout the course of the 20 levels that you're going to gain leveling up, you'll get 5 additional points to spend in abilities. So it is always best to have one or an odd number of abilities be an odd number, because the bonuses only come every other level. So in this case, during the course of the game, we're going to put 5 additional points in strength, ending us at 24. The other classes that we will be investing levels into are going to be 1 into Oracle for the Wolfsguard Face Bite, 2 into Alchemist for the Feral Mutagen Bite, and 4 into Dragon Disciple, both for the bite from Dragon Disciple and the additional 4 strength. For our skills, you can see we've invested into Mobility, Arcana, Persuasion, and Perception. We are only going to get 3 points in Mobility. Again, this is to shore up our fighting defensively, because it will give us 1 extra dodge benefit when fighting defensively for having 3 mobility. We're only going to be investing 5 points in Arcana, and that is to unlock the Dragon Disciple Prestige class. We will continue to invest points into Perception and Persuasion all throughout the game, because Perception is important throughout the game, and we're going to look at getting Dreadful Carnage, which is a feat that requires us to have a decent Persuasion skill in order to function correctly. For our feat this level, we selected Power Attack. We're going to be heading for Cleaving Finish right away, so our first 3 feats are going to be Power Attack, Cleave, and Cleaving Finish. Cleaving Finish is really best gotten in the early game because that's where it's going to be most beneficial for you. It will continue to be beneficial for fights in which you have mobs of enemies, but as you progress towards endgame, it'll be more and more frequent that you'll see maybe 1 to 3 enemies at a time, at which case they'll have higher health pools and you'll have less chance to have killing attacks to allow you to cleave onto other enemies. For our Bloodline, we're going to be choosing Infernal. This is really not important. You could choose Infernal or Abyssal. As far as what I am trying to build, it doesn't matter. The only thing that we're really getting that's important are the bonus feats, and in this case we're going to get some fire spells. Eventually we'll go ahead and take Ascendant Element Fire so that none of our fire abilities can resist. Because of the path that we're going to go down, I have chosen to worship Iomedae. I think that there are some special options or special dialogue that we can get later with Iomedae as our god, and we're going to be going Lawful Good. The rest is just aesthetic stuff. If you guys do have any questions about any of these choices in specific, please let me know in the comments section. I'd be happy to go over any of it. Since we've gotten through all that, though, let's go ahead and get into the game here. I am going to let the voice actors do their job and read their parts when they are acting. I will read the parts of our character when it's time to respond.
Hey, somebody! We got a wounded fighter. Can we get a healer over here?
My, would you look at this? But why would you drag a wounded fighter into the middle of the festival square? Couldn't she be carted off somewhere else like, oh, I don't know, an infirmary? Or an accommodating ditch?
Make room, everyone! Step back! Now, what's the matter? What happened to her? The wound looks nasty. Who did this to her?
Demons, Prelate. We found her barely alive outside the walls of Canabris.
The walls, you say? Enemy doesn't usually stray so close to the city. Must fortify the defenses. And you, hold fast. Don't die. We'll see you right. We'll get you patched up now. But first, you there, guard. Take her weapons. Bearing arms is not permitted during the festival. Wounded or not, everyone must abide by the rules. She can get her things back after the festival. O Inheritor, leader of our troops, the sharpened edge of our blades and the unyielding strength of our armor, Iomedae, I beseech you, grant your mercy, heal her wounds.
I won't give up that easily.
Hear, hear! That's the Crusader spirit. My powers are not enough here. Someone call for Terendelev. You there! Yes, you! Stop dithering and gawping and make yourself useful. Go and get Terendelev!
Prelate, surely there is somebody else here better suited to running errands.
I'll get her! Terendelev! Has anyone seen Terendelev?
Be quick about it before it's too late. Now, who are you? I don't remember seeing you before, and I have an excellent memory for faces.
I don't remember. The first thing I know is I woke up on the stretcher.
You don't remember at all? All right, we'll wait until your memory returns.
My dear Prelate, please, for the sake of the festivities, stop interrogating this poor woman. She has been through enough already. Go on. I'll take care of her.
All right, as you wish. You are our protector, and a dragon at that, so I shall defer to your wisdom. But be on your guard. I've been informed she was wounded near Canabres. That means the demons are prowling just outside the walls, and the city is crawling with their spies. Others may be able to relax on this holiday, but not you or I. Not the defenders of the city.
Pry loose the grudging grip of pain. Cast off the veil of suffering flesh. Let light and life go forth in triumph to repel the skulking shade of death. There.
Thank you for helping me.
I accept your thanks, but my work is not yet done.
Who are you?
My name is Terendelev. I am the protector of the city.
Are you really a dragon?
You don't believe me? Perhaps I should retake my true form and engulf this square with my ice breath to win your trust. Pay no mind to my current guise. I appear this way when I walk among the people. I would hamper the festivities if I tried to attend in my true form.
Do you know what happened to me?
I do not know yet, and that troubles me. I am not entirely sure what the demons did to you. This wound is no ordinary injury, and it was inflicted by no ordinary weapon. I have rid you of your pain and restored your strength, but only time will allow you to heal fully.
All right, well, can I go?
Certainly, but be careful. I have managed to get you back on your feet, but I have not healed you fully. Alas, sooner or later, your pain will return. But do not be discouraged. You will recover, I promise you that. Tomorrow, come to the cathedral and say that you are expected by Terendelev, protector of Canabres. We will find a way to help you. But for now, put this out of your mind and enjoy the festival. They are all too rare in this time of war, and merriment is one of the best medicines.
What was that, Terendelev? One day before retirement? I'm sure nothing can possibly go wrong. Alright, so I have played through this first act several times. I do know what's going on here. It will be blind after the first act, however. So let's go ahead and enjoy the festivities here. There's a dartboard over here that we can go ahead and throw a dart into. Dead center. There are some Easter eggs that you can explore in this area if you would like to. I am not going to do that right now. I'm just going to go see if we can't grab a drink from this location over here.
One minute we had a dragon, the next, bam, she was gone. What are you gonna do? Fight or flee? flee at your plan. Let me help you out. I've got a scroll here with a good protective spell.
Hey, I've seen you somewhere before.
Yeah, you have. You owe me your life. I'm the one who found you outside the walls and brought you inside to be healed. I see they patched you up. Good thing they did it before the attack, or else you'd have been done for.
Who's Discari?
You must have got a good drubbing around the head, friend. Discari's a demon lord. The most fearsome enemy of all Crusaders, and all living things, come to think of it.
Do you know what the situation is in the rest of the city?
Who knows? Everything's on fire, crashing down around our ears. The place is crawling with demons. Looks like a whole army attacked the city. We're sitting ducks.
Alright, well, lend me a weapon. I will try to fight the demons off.
Sure thing. Here, take this. Best crossbow I've got. The person who made it said it could pierce the hide of a demon lord even. Good luck! Try not to get eaten now!
A mortal gnat snaps its jaws at the Lord of Locusts. Behold, Iomade. Behold the death I sow.
The silver dragon, Terendelev, the defender of Canabras, fell in battle. Hardly surprising, as she had to fight the demon lord Discari himself. He willed the land to part and swallow all who dared to stand in his way. But the war was still far from over.
Ah, lucky we fell in an area that just has a pathway in it. It's also lucky it looks like we've got a featherfall buff on us, just briefly, so made sure we didn't get injured too much there. I am going to turn Fury off because I don't want to constantly use that. The other thing I'm going to do right away here is I'm going to go ahead and pull our armor off. And our potions. And our scrolls. We will be using armor for a while in the beginning here, and then closer to the end of the game we will not be using armor again. We'll just rely on mage armor spell.
Oh, holy mother of...
Hey, stay with me. You actually got pretty lucky. You fell down into a black hole. But at least you're not on your own. You've got a great companion. Everything's going to be just fine. Tell me something. Can you feel your legs?
I feel them all right. When say no to a little less feeling in them. My ankle's killing me, but my back seems to still be in one piece. My head, too.
That's all that matters. Now, we're going to... Hey! Fancy meeting you down here. You're the one that Terendelev healed today, right? You aren't injured, are you? Will you help me get her out from under the boulders?
Alright, and this is actually why we decided to take our armor off, because our athletics is slightly better with our armor off. It didn't matter this time, we did still fail the check though.
Damn it all. I think it's broken. Oh well, I've had worse. I'll just make myself a splint out of something. Thanks for the help. I wouldn't have lasted long on my own stuck under there. I'm Anevia Tirabade, of the Eagle Watch. I was overseeing security at the festival square. I thought maybe spies or demon worshippers might have something nasty planned. What actually happened, though? Now that I did not see coming. I don't think anyone could have been prepared for that.
Well, I'm Sela. Paladin by the grace of Iomade. I crossed the whole continent to come to Mendev and fight demons. And well, I've been fighting for a while now. I don't even want to think what might be happening up there in the city. Canabras has lost the protection of Terendelev, and of the Wardstone too, looks like. It's a relic without equal. It was placed here personally by Iomede's herald, with the goddess's blessing. I really wanted to go see it, to pray before it. But there's no point worrying about a stone when there are people dying in the streets.
Yeah, things are looking grim enough, but don't lose heart. Wardstone or no, dragon or no, Canabres will never give in. Simple as. Well, we've introduced ourselves. What about you?
My name is Hack.
Good to meet you. Now, tell us all about yourself.
Whoa, girl. Slow down. Exchanging names is enough for now. We don't have time to be swapping life stories. We need to find a way out of here. Now then, I'll hobble my way out of here somehow. The city ain't far, only 30 paces or so. That's if you're going straight up, of course. I'm afraid we're gonna have to go the long way round.
To summarize, there are 3 of us, with 5 working legs, 3 pairs of decent hands, 2 clear heads, and 1 made of wood. That's mine. Underground monsters beware! Anevia, you stay behind us. You're in no fit state to fight. If we do come up against anything, the 2 of us will try to manage on our own first. Well, onward! May the good deities lead us back to the open sky soon.
Alright, for this first little section
Together
here,
we stand.
despite what Sela has said, Anevia actually gets 2 attacks, and she has, I think it's 3 dice of sneak attacks already, so she does do a significant amount of damage, and she's pretty much going to carry us through this first section. We're just going to move Sela to the front here and update our formation a little bit, and we're off. Alright, let's see what we're going to wear. I think I'm going to give Sela the Cloak of Resistance for now, and I'm going to put my armor back on, and I think this Cold Iron Great Axe will be the best weapon for us to use for a little bit here. Also on Sela, I'm going to go ahead and take off her torch, her potion, and I'm just going to move the ranged weapon over to this one because I like having the ranged weapons over there. They did add a move the screen or rotate the screen function. I use Q and E to do that, and tab is to see all of the items that you can possibly pick up.
Who's there?
Relax, friend. We're not demons or cultists. Don't poke my eye out with that thing, all right? We fell down here during the attack. I'm Sela, that's Anevia, and this is our new friend. We're looking for a way back to the surface.
Really? I'm so ever glad to hear it. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Camellia. I was also in the square when... I can scarcely believe it. How did all those demons get into the city? I thought, naively it now seems, that the Wardstone protected us from attack. And Terendelev, I can't wrap my head around it.
Well, not many could withstand a strike from a demon lord. Not even Terendelev.
I can't argue with that. We're fortunate to be alive, albeit underground.
Discari himself has come to Canabres. There's no mistaking that ugly mug. Terendelev tried to fight him, but what could she do against a near deity? Even the Wardstone was no help. Our city used to be protected by powerful forces, but now...
We've seen how powerless they truly are. Henceforth, we shall have no one but ourselves to rely on, I suppose.
Well, tell me more about yourself.
Who am I? Just an ordinary citizen who decided to take a stroll through the square on the day of the festival. But that's not what you wish to know, is it? You most likely wish to know whether I'll be a burden should you ask me to join your group. No need to worry about that. I can assure you that I am skilled with a rapier, and I also possess some knowledge of magic.
What happened to that poor guy behind you? Who is he?
I don't know. He must have been in the square when disaster struck. I tried to revive him, but he was already dead, sadly.
He didn't get these wounds from the fall. Be on your guard. Whatever killed him likely hasn't gone far.
Hang on. I think I know him. His name's Aravashniel, the egghead from the library. He was a good lad, even if he was kind of stuck up. May his soul rest in peace.
Do you want to join us?
Certainly. Survivors should stick together. It's only sensible. Who knows what else could be prowling about in these caves?
Alright, well, we need to keep moving. There must be a way back to the surface somewhere around here.
That's right. It would be the height of foolishness to survive a demon attack only to perish under a pile of rubble.
Let's see if this poor bloke has anything useful on him. Not to sound like a heartless brigand or nothing, but we kinda need all the supplies we can get right now.
Oh, Anevia, we certainly will be looting all the corpses we can find here.
Be careful, everyone!
All of these fights, like I said, are going to be pretty easy, and Evia's going to carry you through this part. You can pretty much just click and let her do the work. If you are playing on turn-based mode for this section of the game, I guess I would suggest that you go ahead and just play on real-time with pause. There are some issues with her joining combat originally in turn-based mode.
Cut you wide open. Save the last one for me.
Got a lot of bugs down here. So we're just kind of running through the hallways here, grabbing.
Do not fear
and
attack! Do not!
looking to attack when there's stuff in front of us. Yeah, it does look like Seal's got pretty hurt here. We do have 2 heals to use through this course, or actually 3. And then, of course, any potions that we may find during the course of this.
Well?
So let's throw one of those on her. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and steal the potions from Camellia.
Let us be careful.
The spirits demand your blood!
Now, I'm not having Seela fight defensively right now. I don't think that's actually important until we get into the shield maze. So essentially, once we lose Anevia's help.
No, I can't just walk away. It's got to be here somewhere. Wenduok!
Lan, did you find it? Who is that?
The do-gooders here to save our mongrel souls, no doubt. Wait. They might know what's going on up there.
Demons are laying waste to Canabras.
If things are as bad as you say, then we all have to hurry.
You didn't come from the direction of the shield maze. Damn it. I couldn't care less about what's happening on the surface, but the maze...
I realize that you guys have your own troubles, but we need to be in Canabras. People are dying up there. Please, show us the way out.
Who are you guys anyways? Tieflings or something?
You think our forebears sullied themselves by mating with demons like yours did? No, our ancestors would never sink that low. We are the Underground Crusaders, the children of the Crusade's finest.
Sadly, Underground Crusaders is a bit of a mouthful, so people usually just call us Mongrels.
You just love repeating that, don't you, Lan? Mongrels. That's what the Uplanders call us. But we call ourselves Neathers.
No matter what you call us, it's not gonna stop our horns, hooves, or tails from growing.
I've never heard of any Underground Crusaders before.
In Canabras, they're called Mongrels. People say that they come up to the surface at night and eat anyone foolish enough to wander alone after midnight. To tell you the truth, I thought you guys were just a tale to tell kids at night.
That's human gratitude for you. Our forefathers suffered the consequences of demonic corruption, all to protect Mendev and Golarion. And for what? So we could become monsters used to frighten children.
Every mongrel has their own take on it. Our chief, for example, thinks of us as something like a reserve military force. He thinks we're standing by until the moment we're needed, and when we emerge on the surface and save the day, all the people will see how good we are and they'll love us for it. Yeah, he leaves that last part out when he talks about it, of course, but it's easy enough to read between the lines.
Well, what's this place we're in right now?
This is the hall where we remember the glory of our forebears. Sorry about the mess. It doesn't usually look like this, trust me. Sometimes we even wipe the dust off the exhibits.
This is where the relics of the First Crusaders are displayed. Our lives are short. Our glories are quickly forgotten. But this place helps us to remember that we are just as worthy as anyone else. And that our lives are not lived in vain.
The First Crusaders? You've been down here that long? That's crazy.
Well, what are you doing down here right now?
That's none of your bit.
We're looking for a holy sword. It was here, in the center, sticking out of a rock. The sooner we find it, the better. Some kids from our tribe took off for the shield maze. They figured it had collapsed, and now it's their time to go up to the surface, like all the legends foretold. Except they don't have a clue what's waiting for them up there. They're not fighters. And Saul, the chief of our tribe, is dead set against it. He says that now isn't the time for the Underground Crusaders to take up arms. If we get the Holy Sword, we might be able to change the chief's mind.
It's a fool's errand. None of us will be able to hold the sword, let alone use it to save anyone. It's not an ordinary weapon. It's made from righteous heavenly flame and will burn anyone who touches it. You think you're special, Lan?
I'll pick it up with my teeth and tie it to my hand if I have to. It doesn't matter. An angel's sword and a troop of stalwart mongrels will be able to work a minor miracle. Speaking of which, you're still here, Wendu, which means that deep down, you know it's possible.
Maze? Does that really lead to the surface?
Yes. There are other ways up, but they are far from here, and after the earthquakes, there's a good chance they've collapsed. But the maze... There's a legend among our people that when the walls of the maze fall, that will be a signal for us, the Underground Crusaders, that the time has come to go up to the surface and fight the demons in the final confrontation. Until then, the people say the maze is shielding us from taking rash actions. I'm the only one in our whole tribe to have been in the maze. And even I don't know if it's true. But the further I went in the maze, the fresher the air became. That means that it really must lead to the surface.
When the ceiling and walls started shaking, the young ones in our tribe lost their heads. They figured the maze was going to collapse, so it was time to go up to the surface. They grabbed whatever weapons were on hand and ran off toward the maze. They think the maze is no longer a danger to them. They've been listening to Wenduang too much.
Don't try to blame this on me. Yes, I told them that our people are capable of making our way through the maze. In the future. But I always told them to wait until I had made a map of all the maze's dangers. I warned them 100 times. But it was no use. My words just went in one ear and out the other.
You said something about a sword of holy flame? How did that wind up down here?
It came here with its owner. A long time ago. 50,000 gongs to be precise.
70 years ago, in Uplander time.
50,000 gongs ago, our forebears found a dead angel here, along with the bodies of his comrades. The tribe gave them a dignified burial, and they were laid to rest with their weapons. But the flaming angelic sword was stuck in a rock, and no one was able to pull it out. It burned to the touch, like real fire. So the rock was placed over the angel's grave. It should be here somewhere.
Maybe the angel will dig himself out and find the sword for us. That might be our best shot in this chaos.
Lan, watch your tongue.
Well, we'll find that sword faster if we work together. I'll help you.
Thanks. An extra pair of eyes can only help. The sword will be easy enough to spot. It looks, swordy. Help us, and in return, we'll get you out of here.
Now we're talking. Let's get to work. It's a good thing we all bumped into each other, isn't it?
What, you want to find the sword quickly so the underground monsters bring you back to the surface? So be it.
Exactly, Windwog. And we're lucky to have Lan here. He's very
helpful,
descriptive.
am I not?
There's no way we could find the sword without
Now
knowing
what
how to
is
sword.
that?
So we're just gonna run around the room here real quick.
Something here.
There's a lot of fairly easy perception checks to find a bunch of garbage.
I've spotted something.
What's that there? I found something.
Something here.
And then this one up here, which you can see is different based on the gear. A strange flash pierces the gloom, and we feel drops of searing blood running down our chest. The wound that was healed by Terendelev reopens and weeps scarlet. But there's no pain or weakness. A hazy scene appears, a cave chamber. This one, or another one entirely. Our heartbeat quickens, and a stream of thoughts suddenly burst into our mind. Thoughts that clearly belong to someone else. Treachery. They betrayed me, trapped me, and stabbed me in the back. My trusted allies, my trusted friends, the people I swore to protect. The people for whom I descended from heaven and came to this turbulent mortal world. There they are, up ahead, in the gloom of the cave. What are they waiting for? Are they afraid to draw any closer? Do they believe I'm about to die from their traitorous blows? Next to me, a quiet moan. A girl with a golden braid lies on the rocks, clutching her slashed side. She refused to join with the traitors, and paid dearly for it. I could have tried to run, but I will not. Whilst I still have strength, I must. While recognizing the foreign origin of these thoughts, we intuit that we can control them somehow. Let's try to heal the wounded girl. A spark of healing magic illuminates the eerie, murky scene. The wounded girl opens her eyes and whispers, "Lariel, you said that everything was going to change soon. You said you and the other warriors of heaven would be leaving us on a grand mission to stop the demons forever. Is that true?" The frenzy of foreign thoughts comes faster and faster, like a rushing river, and images flash by one after another. A priestess in colorful robes observing the stars, a young female paladin praying, clutching her glowing sword, a majestic, golden-winged angel gazing into the distance, his face covered by a helmet, but his voice ringing clear. Only if you're willing, and only if you're ready. There is no going back. Then don't waste your strength healing me, the girl whispers. Your mission is more important. You take care. It is near. There in the vision, the darkness in the cave stirs into motion. Something massive appears from within its depths. A vague shadow, an outline, a nightmare come to life. A wave of odious chirping and rustling emanates from the shadow. the sound piercing like hot irons, lancing through flesh and bone. The traders fall on their knees before the shadow in reverent ecstasy, and the wounded girl thrashes in her death throes. The yawning chest wound burns hot. Our head pounds with pain, and it's no longer clear whose pain it is. The person called Lario who sent this vision, or the one unlucky enough to receive it. Let's see which check is a little bit better for us. It looks like our will is 2, and we put some points into Knowledge Arcana, so that's the way to go. So we know how to resist the malign influence such as this, no matter its origin. And we failed! The force of this terrifying attack, though originating in a vision, is much greater than anything I can withstand. Crippling fatigue drags us to the ground, hands trembling, cold piercing our skull, and slowly creeping along our spine. The one who sent the vision is experiencing something similar. He is broken and exhausted. A monstrous shadow emerges from the murk of the cave. It is not real. It exists only in this strange vision or memory, but the thrill of fear it provokes is more than real. The shadow's features starkly resemble those of Discari, the terrifying demon lord. In a movement as swift as thought itself, the monster's hand is wrapped around the throat of the one they called L'Oreal. The foolish angel, struggling on the rocks, like a fly with its wings torn off, intones the shadow. Its voice changes as it moves, shifting from a quiet whispering to a sonorous shout, becoming young, then old and quavering. Where is your goddess, angel? Where is her self-assured herald? How is it that you are dying here, alone, so far from the light of your heaven? A strange calm envelops the thoughts of the one called L'Oreal. He recognizes who stands before him, and he knows that he will never bow down before this enemy. The flaming sword flares to life in his hand, bright, pure, flickering, with multicolored sparks like a sunbeam through stained glass. Slash! The blade slices through the demonic creature's flesh, and the monster recoils with a howl, releasing its grip on Mario's throat. The angel falls back heavily on the rocks. His vitality is ebbing, but his pride remains undiminished. He grips the sword, and with his last burst of strength, plunges it into the rock. We sense that the vision is fading, the rush of thoughts diminishing like a river running dry. The last thing we hear is this: "You will kill me, monster. This I know. But one day, someone will come here and raise up my sword. They will raise it up, and I think we'll select punish the evildoers and traitors." The vision disappears, vanishing in a burst of colors. We do not hear the final words, but we seem to complete the thought, taking it to heart. The words fly from our lips, and with them, something else. The heat blazing in our chests fades away. The edges of the scarlet wound close, leaving not even a scar behind. Looking down, we see the flaming sword in our hand, or rather, its outline, the memory of what the sword looked like. With a final surge of warm and soothing light, the sword vanishes, and the light is drawn into our hand. We sense that it will return. All we need to do is call it.
Hey! Are you alright? You were kinda glowing just now.
That was it. The light of heaven. But how?
What did you do with it? Where did it go?
You guys saw it too? The traitors? The dying girl?
It's only us here. Your group, you, me, Wendu, and the light of heaven that sort of got, sucked into you. Any chance you can whip it out again? We do kinda need it. Sorry, I crack jokes when I get nervous, and when I'm upset, and when I'm happy. Anyway, what I said, it came out wrong. We need to bring you to Chief Sull. You can show everyone the light of heaven, we'll rally the tribe and go into the maze, and we'll get back our kin.
And what if she can't make it happen a second time? What then? The tribe will just say we're crazy and turn its back on us.
I think I saw the memories of L'Oreal, the angel who died here.
L'Oreal? That really was L'Oreal? The angel from the legends. The ancestors even got his name right on the gravestone. The chief will be thrilled.
You. Thousands of gongs, and no one's been able to touch it. And now you, an ordinary creature of flesh and blood, no different to us, get the sword and start talking about visions.
Now, Wendoag, don't be a sore loser. She is clearly different from us. The sword appeared before her, along with the angel's name and all that other stuff, because she doesn't carry our mongrel taint. Heaven doesn't give a damn how special we are. We're born with evil inside us. Heaven doesn't need to know any more than that. I know you're willing to tear anyone apart to uphold our people's honor, but you and Sol, you just refuse to face the truth. We are the way we are because our ancestors' bodies were corrupted by the Abyss. It does the same thing to plants and animals. There's nothing heroic or special about it. It doesn't make us better, and it doesn't make us worthier.
So this requires Angel Mythic Path here does actually unlock the Angel Mythic Path. Some of them you have to choose more than one. The Angel, you only have to choose this one, and it's actually required to move the game forward. It seems I can control the light.
That is just... wow, I mean, that's amazing! Heaven has truly blessed you.
This power is the most majestic thing I've ever seen in all my life. Is this what the sun is like, Lan?
Yes, it's similar. But this light is more... golden? Chief Sol needs to see this. Now that we have the power of angels on our side, he can't say no. He'll have to assemble a troop to storm the maze. You Uplanders care about your kids, right? Help us save ours. Without them, we won't survive. And then, the perils of the maze won't be so bad if we go together. We'll make our way through it and find the way to Canabras.
Alright, lead us to your chief and I'll decide if I'm going to help you or not.
Let's go. We'll take the short route. Well, the only route, really.
Alright, we got 2 more companions here. And we've got a mobility check.
Well, this didn't go... well.
Land failed. For some reason, even though I've checked don't show this tutorial any further, it keeps showing them all the time. Again, still at this point, Nebbia's kind of going to carry us through all these fights. So
aim carefully.
Click and let things go.
They are the darkness.
It would be a little bit of a bummer if one of these guys poisoned us, but I don't remember if they have that turned on for this little prologue section. And one more mobility check for Lan.
The mongrel did it.
It is nice if they succeeded on the first try because you get a little bit of experience every time that happens. The second try you do not get experience for. So this is the one fight that is actually a little bit difficult because these small earth elementals can actually one-shot anyone in your party here. They won't kill them outright, but they can knock them down very easily.
You've crossed the wrong Yet another obstacle.
That being said, there they didn't hit us at all. And now we got a wand of Cure Light Wounds.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
We've only got a couple more fights here before we get to the village.
I'll be in your blood. Guide my blade.
That looks like both Seal and Familiar are taking some damage here. And again, more tutorials. We're gonna go ahead and heal up real quick here. Well, as much as we can just from spells. We're not gonna use any items at this time. However, we are going to make us large.
Meditate on your
And
mistakes.
let's just
to
take a
command.
look.
Feel better.
Well, we'll turn
Where do
point
you
blank
want
shot.
I shall
A
not
bright
fail.
future awaits us.
We're going to go ahead and use our rage in this fight as well, because this is the last fight before kind of a stopping point.
What's that there?
Did we find trouble? No, they did.
Oh, I thought we just bid him for 20, but oh no, we did. We did bite him for 22. It's a good bite. Backspace to grab everybody, but for some reason I wasn't quite pushing it there. Listen here, you. I don't know who you are or where you came from, but you and I are the only two people here who see things clearly. That's why I'm asking you. Don't show the light of heaven to Sol. But Lan is sure that the light should be shown to the Mongrels. Lan, he wants to play the hero. His first idea, if you remember, was to grab the sword and run headlong into the maze. Does that sound like a plan to you? To me, it sounds like suicide. The worst part is that the tribe might actually take his word to heart and follow where he leads. I thought you considered the Mongrels to be great warriors. The descendants of great warriors. I believe that my people are worthy of greatness, that we are strong and can do many things. That's why we were chased down here. We scared people. But it's one thing to go hunting in the caves, and another to fight in the shield maze. I've been there. I spent my whole life training so I can make it through all the way to the end. There were more of us trackers at the start. We were young and stupid. What's a couple monsters when there's a whole world out there waiting for us? That's what we thought. But we weren't prepared. The maze isn't just a physical challenge. It's cunning, full of traps. It's dark as the primordial night. And if you close your eyes and listen, you hear whispers right behind you, and soft singing in the distance that seems to rise and fall with the beating of your heart. I had to learn from my friends' mistakes. I had to step over their bodies and go further. I don't want to have to do that again. And it will happen again if a crowd of ill-prepared fighters burst into the maze with no idea where they're going. All because Lan believes that a glowing sword will solve our problems. Don't you want to save the kids lost in the maze? I do want to, but I'm not going to risk the future of the tribe for the sake of a few stupid kids. Chief Sol is hesitant, and for good reason. He also understands how dangerous this is for the tribe. Lan's the only one who benefits from these childish games of heroism. I'll go alone if I have to, find them, or whatever's left of them, without any heroics, relying only on myself, risking only my own life. You and your friends, you can come with me. Perhaps we can make it to the end of the maze together and find the way out to the surface. I'll think about it. Let's go. Don't show the chief the light, and I'll lead you through the maze to the surface. I swear it. And Anevia pops back in just to check what we're talking about.
I'm gone.
Alright, here we are. In the village of the Mongrels, or the Neithers, or the Underground Crusaders. Whatever you want to call them. Standing in front of us is an old rat-like mongrel. A blender share. And time short upon us indeed. Chief Sol, we found the Angel Sword, and we found the one who can wield it. We had a vision, and now the Angel Sword, together with the Light of Heaven, are somehow inside her. Gather the tribe. Anyone who can hold a weapon. The young ones are still alive. We can go save them. Ah, Lan. Always dreaming. Always talking. You're too hasty. Too hasty for your own good. It's going to get you in trouble. An uplander with the light of heaven? That's too good for us. Our kind don't have good things happen. There's always a catch. Lan trusts people because he likes to believe. Isn't that right, Lan? I'm the chief. I don't work on faith. Show me the light. Was there someone else from the surface here? There he is. Hale and hearty and prim as a peacock. Just like me. It's not good. Too many uplanders. It's not good. It's not right. What are you up to here? You're not one of us. We're not your kind. When the time comes, we'll come to you. You to us. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and take the lawful option to reveal the light of the heaven to the chief. If I can click on it. So it's true. The angel did not forsake us. No, he came. Back from the dead he came. To save our children. Lan shakes his head at us. See these fishermen? These hunters? These husks of men and women? Their blood will be upon our hands. Come on, Windwall, we've got the blessing of angels. We'll survive and help the young tribes. Idiot. You see a bright light, and now you think even the maze is no match for you? You always think the worst, Windu. We're not on our own in this anymore. We've got allies. Well, a couple, at least. But one good fighter's worth 10 bad ones. You have the right of it, Lan. But we're neithers. We're going to wait. I sent a message to summon all the tribes. It will take time, yes. But they will all come. They will all come for the light. Wait, Lan. Wait, uplanders. Rest a while in one of our hush. Our home is your home. Alright, Chief. Understood. Let's hope that a few hours isn't the difference between life and death for those kids. If they ask what took us so long, I'll tell them it was your decision. And we've leveled up. I think this is a fairly good stopping point for episode 1. If you like what you saw, go ahead and like. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. Episode 2, we will level up our characters and we'll kind of walk through what we're doing with each of them while we level them. Thank you for stopping by and tune in next episode for exciting adventures in the Shield Maze.